Most men, they don't get friend zoned because they're good people, or they don't get friend zoned because they're weird. Problem is, a lot of these guys get friend zoned because they're too available when they meet the woman the first time. And again, we can talk about that a million times. We know how available the average guy is going to get. They gave boyfriend energy. We can also talk about that. But I think a lot of guys will understand is, okay, now that we know that all these things put you in the friend zone but they don't know the dangerous part of what happens to a lot of young men out here. And a lot of people don't understand the thing about women in the friend zone is the friend zone doesn't announce itself at the door. It kindly, gradually, slowly creeps in really, really quietly when you're not paying attention. We're going to talk about that. It comes through little jokes, light banter, and many guys fall for it when women start to dictate the narratives. I had one woman tell my client today, a man doesn't talk that way. And then once that man gave her correction, you know what she says? I understand now. We can move forward. And we're going to talk about that. But I think a lot of guys go wrong in this when it comes to the game, because the moment a woman sits around and says you're such a good friend or something like that, or gives you some kind of a compliment and you don't give her correction, then you are going to fall into the friend zone. And this is where most guys out here, this is where they lose, because they feel like instead of correcting the pattern that the woman uses, what they will do is they will allow the woman's disrespect to come in and actually change the game. And that's not what we're supposed to do when it comes to women, it comes to relationships. We're not supposed to allow women to dictate the pace. And if you are acting kind and friendly, she's going to dictate the pace, because a lot of guys, y'all see it, y'all feel it coming, you know it's coming, but you just don't know what to do. So a lot of guys, what they will do is they will kind of try to double down a little bit. They will become patient. They try to become more useful. They start begging, bartering, and trying to actually audition who they are for the woman. And that's where they go wrong. And women will get offended by that. So what I want to do is kind of preventative maintenance. We'll do more of this when the school opens up. But when a man feels friend zone, okay, this is a time where this is where you're at what I call a crossroads. And don't beat yourself up because you get in the friend zone. The reason most of you are in the friend zone is because you feel that asking for what you want or making a declaration of what you want is a bad thing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, man. But this is not about bitterness. This is not about games, okay? This has to be a shift in the energy. This has to be a shift in who you are and what you do. This has to be a shift in the game for you to win. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But what I'm going to talk about today are 5 things that you can do the moment that you feel like you're in the friend zone. What do I do when I feel like I'm close in there? The preventative maintenance, okay? And I'm going to teach you this. And if you can do this early on, maybe you can break the pattern. But sometimes a lot of you guys dig yourself in such a deep hole, like the Grand Canyon, it's kind of hard to get out. But I'm going to try to give you and lace you with this game to get you out of those situations. All right, the first thing that you got to think about when it comes to all of this, all right? A man, you've got to break the pattern, okay, of your availability. I know a lot of you guys in your mind, you think there's competition out there. There is no such thing as competition when you have the game. Another man is not your competition, but a lot of you guys look at your competition. And I know that first move is simple to a lot of you guys, but most men can't do it because their connection to wanting to be connected to that woman is so great that they throw themselves off. And I'm not saying not be available. I'm saying that, see, the thing is, you have to have game. You have to be able to leave enough information there to open the loop to make her want to reach out to you, make her think about you, like, what are you doing? What are you up to? What's going on with you, okay? And when a woman knows that you're so easy, she is going to easily test it out. She's gonna wonder if you say yes to everything, if she can ask for something and you just say okay without giving her any drama. I mean, even her wanting to see you, you should pull it back a little bit. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds counterintuitive. See, it doesn't make sense. A woman wants to see me. Why would I pull back so fast? Because, see, when you have the game, you're not easy, man. A woman cannot have you. A woman cannot have access to you. And I'm telling you, women love it when you say no. When a woman says, come see me, you're so fast to jump and go see her. You've already lost before everything's already started. She knows she has you. She knows she's got you. And this is why it's very important that you got to look at the chess pieces and the moves. Because some women out there are going to say, you know what, come see me. You get excited. And then she pulls the rug from under you and say, oh, never mind, I'm busy. Never mind, I got something else to do. That's how she knows that you're always going to be available for her. And that's the thing that you got to break, okay? When I'm saying you guys out here, man, the pattern must be broken early on. Let me give you an example of breaking the pattern, okay? Let's talk about pattern breaking, because these things all tie in, okay? You have to break the pattern. You got to keep it 1,000 with her. You can't beat around the bush, okay? And you got to stand on something. So let's talk about those things all in one fell swoop. Forget about just giving you pieces of this. Let's talk about it in one fell swoop, and let us discuss why it is important. See, I think a lot of young men, what they don't know and where they go wrong is a lot of young men, they look at a woman as special, so they kind of put her up on a pedestal. And you can't pedestalize women. That's not the game. See, where a lot of guys go wrong is they assume that the woman knows that they're interested in her because they're talking to her, and that's not the game, and that's not interest at all. That's an individual who doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he is and how he rocks as a man. And the problem is, I've always say, in order to get out of the friend zone, the first thing you've got to do is let her know from the get-go. Yes, from the moment I meet you, the moment we start talking. This is why I always tell you guys out here why it's so important that putting your bid in is important, because if you cannot go up to a woman and tell her that, okay, this is who I am, this is why I'm here, yes, I want to take you on a date. It's not even, and it doesn't even have to be a date. You know, I'm here because, you know what, I do want to get to know you in a more intimate way. You can do any of those things. And what's going to break the algorithm is that she's not going to understand what that means. What do you mean intimate way? What do you mean sexually, you know, you're sexually interested in me? I'll give you an example. So one of my clients told a woman, you know, we could talk, and he just let her know, look, listen, I just want to let you know from this point on, I am sexually interested in you. And you know what's so funny? The woman says to him, okay, I understand what you're saying, but you don't have to say it that way. The fuck, what? Okay, let me tell you something. If he had changed what he said at that moment, he would have fell in the friend zone. He didn't do that. He got the coach, he got the help. So he stood on all four because, gentlemen, the difference between you guys listening and the average guy is called disruption. And one must disrupt and shake the algorithm to create a crack in the closed loop to open it up. And what do I mean by disruption? A lot of young men, they go up to women, and what they want to do is play it safe. You know, they want to play it safe. They want to be kind. They want to be nice. They want to be thoughtful. They want to do all these things to play it safe. But playing it safe, gentlemen, does not cause disruption. Disruption happens when a man makes a declaration of what he wants to cause a ripple effect in her reality, in her algorithm, where she is going to say, you want to throw her back, not push her back, but you want to throw her back from what she knows. So let me give you a prime example. Most of you guys reach out to women and you're talking and you're being nice and you're being kind and you're being cordial, you're being thoughtful, but yet you're not making any kind of disruption. The disruption that you need to make is letting her know that, listen to me, I do find you sexually attractive. And yes, I do want to get to know you in a more intimate way. Now, you can do two things after this point. You can allow her to have that ripple effect and either get offended, which you want, her to try to give you correction, which you want, or you want her to ask what you're talking about because they're not used to men making a declaration. You must take the flagpole, and stab it in the ground and make a declaration of, this is why I'm here. Because if you do not show and tell a woman why you're here, then you are going to lose at that point. Because the thing about women, she already knows that you're interested in her. She already knows that you want to get between her legs, but she's going to play ignorant enough to make it seem like she doesn't know, which is fine by me. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. The problem and the issue comes in is that when you don't make that declaration, gentlemen, you are bound to the friend zone because you are playing a very, very bad game. You're playing a game of, I hope you know that I like you, and we don't do that. Clear, concise, impactful. I want to make sure you know who I am, and I want to make sure that you know why I am, and I want you to make sure that I am not here to chit chat with you. I am not here to be your buddy. I'm not here to do any of that. But with that being said, I didn't say I want to sleep with you right now or trying to get between your legs, because remember I told you it's a tight line, gentlemen, that you must walk. If you go over to the left, or over to the right, you're gonna fall into the friend zone. You go a little bit to the left, you're gonna be weird and creepy, and I'm trying to do everything I can to prevent that. She knows you want to sleep with her. That's a gimme. Everybody knows that. But what she doesn't want to feel like you're talking down to her. See, here's the problem. An average guy is either going to talk up to her or talk down to her. Let me give you a prime example. Talking up to her, you're beautiful, you're sweet, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, I'm so lucky, why would you want to be with a man like me? That, gentleman, is talking up to the woman. Talking down to the woman is, let me send you a dick pic. Can we come over and have sex right now? I know nothing about you. Why don't you bring your body over here so I can hump on a little bit? That's talking down. But between the worship and talking down is where men hit this middle ground of game. I'm not here to worship you. I'm not here to talk down to you. I'm here to let you know what I'm here for, but I'm not here to waste my time. You see how that works, gentlemen? You're not here to waste your time. And if you can let her know time is of the essence to you, not time to sleep with her and not time for her to validate you, you are going to change the game totally, because she's never met a man before that stood on a principle that says, yeah, you know what, so what? Yeah, I'm rocking with you. I see you. I want to get at you. Yeah. So what? Okay, cool. But with that being said, I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to sit here to chit chat with you and see how your day is going, all this other stuff. I am sexually attracted to you. And on the principle of being sexually attracted to you, yes, I do want to get to know you in a more intimate way. That's the truth. That's why I'm here. And if I told you anything other than that, I would be a liar, a manipulator, and I would be disingenuous. But see, then this gentleman takes the nice guy out of the equation, because the nice guy would never, ever put out his intention. The nice guy is always going to cloak and hide his intention behind a closed door. But as long as you are sharing the door with the woman, as long as you're showing her that, you know what, look, I'm trying to get at you. That's what it is. I mean, there's nothing wrong about that. I do not want any of you young men to be mad or beat yourselves up over, God damn it. Damn it, did I leave my phone in my car? I left my other phone, shit. I'm supposed to be going to I'm on my way to a movie. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on my way to go to a movie right now. Now I was going to take my truck. Then I decided to take another vehicle, and I left my phone. I know my dog is catching me because I'm like 2 minutes. I'm running late, and you should never run late to a movie. That's why I'm talking to y'all while I'm driving. But what I'm saying to you guys out here, this is what the game is all about. The game is not about playing games with women. The game is making sure you don't waste your time when you're interacting with a woman. That's the last thing I want to happen. I don't want you to put yourself in a weak position because you are too worried about what the woman is going to say and what the woman is going to do. That's not the game. That's not what I want from you guys. What I want from each and every one of you guys out there is to know your value, to know your worth, and realize at the end of the day, I'm not going to run behind a woman and try to get her to be my friend and all that other stuff. We're not here for friendship. I don't want to be your friend. Sorry guys, the sun is blocked. Let me close this, man. I had the sun coming. Let me close this shit. What I'm saying to you guys out here was very important, so y'all can see, because I see how there's a glare of the sun and everything. What I'm saying to you guys out here, damn, maybe it's not the sunroof, it's the glare of the sun to the side of me, shit. Anyway, what I'm saying to you guys out here, I don't want you guys to ever put yourselves in a position that you're in where you don't know who you are, what you are, and why you are. Let me see if I can block out the sun. There we go. Oh, there we go. We can block the sun out. All right, I blocked the sun out. My bad, guys. I didn't say I can block the sun. I already lost my phone's in my truck. My boys probably calling. We're wondering where I'm at. I'm going to see that new Kung Fu movie. It's pretty old, but I had to block the sun out. Anyway, what I'm saying to you guys, let me block all that out. What I'm saying to you guys out here, what is very important in the game is that if you make a declaration, you squash the chance of being in the friend zone, because it's at that point in time you're saying, this is who I am, this is what I want, and this is what we're going to do. And if you can move that way, everything changes at that point. You see, everything begins to flip and everything begins to change once you are able to let her know that if you think I'm your friend, if you think I'm your buddy, if you think I'm here to chit chat with you, then you got the wrong guy. You're talking to the wrong person. I'm not that guy. And if you think I'm here just to mess around and chit chat, then it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And see, gentlemen, that's what I'm saying to all you guys. This is how you can win. See, I want you guys to win when you lock into the game the right way, not when you're running behind the woman. Damn, I cannot believe I left my fucking shit. I left my phone, man, damn. Anyway, as I was saying before, gentlemen, I'm about to wrap this up. But listen, if you guys can let women know from the jump street where you stand and stand on that principle, then what's going to happen is it's going to be a disruption. She's going to challenge you. But also in that challenge, what you can do is you can go give the challenge or the woman correction. She's going to ask you, what do you mean? She might get offended. We want her to go through all those little elements and all those gaps, because that is the disruption, gentlemen. But if you're trying to play it safe, you're trying to put her down in the mud, it is not going to happen. You're going to wind up in a friend zone because she's not going to be turned on by you. And this is why the game is so important. This is why we got to learn one thought, one mind, one way. Because as long as you learn the game, and as long as you learn the rules that I'm showing you of the game, you're not going to go wrong. There's no wrong. And I should just let the drive by the truck so the sunlight doesn't hit us, because we're coming around a curve and a bend. So I don't know how the angle of the sun trying to block the sun out. Let's do that. That might be better. But I'm just saying, guys, at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. And if you guys out there can just learn what I'm saying and let that woman know, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to do these things. And if you can actually do that and live on that principle right there, man, you're going to win 10 times out of 10, because she is not used to, and I repeat, she is not used to a dominant man that knows what he wants and a man that's not going to play any games. We're not here to play games, and I'm not here to be your buddy. And if you think I'm here to be your buddy, we need to end this conversation right now, because I am sexually attracted to you. I want to get to know you in a more intimate way. That is who I am. That is my truth. And if you do not like it, or you cannot handle that truth, then the problem is no longer mine. The problem is actually yours. It is yours to figure out what it is you want to do with that information. So gentlemen, just remember, everything that you say and do is going to put you in a certain situation. What do you want to do and what do you want to become in these moments are going to put you in the friend zone, put you in the creepy zone, or put you in that seductive, sexy zone where a woman knows what everything is. She knows you're not talking to be her buddy, and she knows you're talking to move somewhere. And then it's at that point that if she's wasting your time, you can go ahead and get rid of her at that point. You can go ahead and throw her back into the water, because she can never ask why if she's wasting your time, because that's one thing I'm not going to do, allow a woman to waste my time. So guys, make sure y'all soak up this game. And if any time you feel that a woman is putting you in a position that you feel that you have to be nice, or you tell a woman that you're sexually interested in her, and she gives you a little flap, feedback, mouth, and start popping her gums like she's running everything, well, gentlemen, what I'm telling you is this. You just tell her to take care. Charge her to the game. Let her go. And I know a lot of y'all guys think, man, that's crazy. Why would I do that? I don't want to lose her. No, you lost already if what? If you're playing those childish games. Women like men, and they like men that play manly games. I need you to be the man I know you can be. You don't need to play childish games. You don't need to beat around the bush. You don't need to be her buddy. It is time to be the man that I know you can be. It's time to get this game. And if you can get it and do what I tell you to do, you're going to win, okay? I got you. 4 flats, man. Let's get it.